Hey guys, Casey here from Tone Bros. So a little different format video today. This is kind of more of a vlog style, but I've got my old Deluxe Reverb Reissue here, 65 Deluxe Reverb Reissue. It's one of the Sweetwater editions with a different Jensen in it. I forgot exactly which number it is. It'll be up above. So that's the speaker that's in there now. We've been talking about doing it. I wanted to shoot a little vlog style video. This one's gonna be a little bit different. It'll show you kind of how to change the speaker, and then also I'll give you some sound clips of both, before and after. What are we gonna change the speaker to? Well, I guess once we open it up, we'll find out, right? Maybe that gives you guys a little hint. So whenever you flip over your Deluxe, you'll have these back panels here. Some people try to replace the speaker in through here. You've got transformers and stuff in the way. So you can do it, but you end up having to, I think you even have to take the reverb tank out if you do it that way, which is not ideal whatsoever. So what we're gonna do is, I've actually got this little box here. I'm gonna stick my screws in there. But we're gonna take the front baffle off of the cabinet itself. Or off the combo technically, right guys? So let's get unscrewing this stuff. I'll fast forward through this little bit of tedious work here. Alright guys, so now we've got the two covers off the back there. You're going to have two lead wires which are just like attached lightly by these little push-on clamps. If you've got a single speaker, it's not a big deal which way you have it, because it'll change the polarity if you reverse them. If you've got two speakers in there, it's important to note which one goes to which side of the speaker. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Now I don't know if you guys can see in here for sure or not, but there's 4 screws, or 4 bolts, right there. We're gonna take all those out, and then the front baffle will come completely out. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, we've got the baffle screws out of it. We ought to be able to just pull the cabinet itself with the chassis and everything right out off the top of this thing. And the baffle and everything will come out. So here we go. All right. So now we've got just the baffle itself. So we need to get some wrenches to get these nuts undone off this, and we can go from there. So all right, as a note, it is a size 9 metric to get these off, is what appears to be fitting here for me. So we'll go ahead and get these all undone, and we'll go from there. I'll be back with you guys. We've got all the nuts off there now, guys. We're just going to pick up the speaker and just pull it directly off, okay? Well, maybe. There we go. Wants to kind of stick on there. Careful with your speaker. Remember, it is just paper. So we'll move this to the side, and we'll start prepping our next speakers. So you've probably been wondering what speaker I decided to go with. I know you saw the Warehouse guitar speaker logo on the side. Let's go ahead and get this thing pulled out. Make sure it's okay too. So this is a speaker that I actually picked up used. So I'm going to check it and make sure it's okay. Looks like the person that bought it had not used it much. So before we take a look at it, still got the ring around the magnet, and it is, you guys can see that, ET-65. So this is the speaker that we be going with here in our Deluxe. So now that we got our speaker out, looks good. Let's get our baffle board back over here and get this thing mounted. All right, so when you go to mount it, make sure your Fender logo is going the right way, right guys? So let's make sure that's together. And whenever we go to put it on, we just want to make sure that we are not poking any holes. I'm trying to figure out, I want it to go this way, this way. I think this way is pretty good. Don't want to poke any holes in your speaker. All right, we've got it pressed on there nice. So now we're just going to get our nuts that went onto it and get them on there a little bit. One thing with putting new speakers in, a lot of people make mistakes with, is they over tighten these nuts and they actually warp the speaker itself. And it will certainly affect the sound and the playability of that speaker. So we're not going to do that. We're going to tighten them up. I mean, there's 8 for a Fender baffle like this in the Deluxe. There's going to be 8 posts. If you bought a different brand of speaker, sometimes they've only got 4 posts. So you have to actually either cut these posts out or drill holes in like the side of your speaker here. And to do that, it's not a big deal, but Warehouse Guitar Speakers actually matches them. So it's kind of nice. I'm just getting them all finger tight right now. Once I get them finger tight, I'll just tighten them up just a hair with that wrench. All right, they're all finger tight, so we're just going to tighten them up and get them just a little bit tighter as we come around here. Nothing crazy, like I said, you don't want to over tighten. Now that we've got our speaker on there, it's nice and tight, we're going to put the cabinet back over the baffle. So let's get all that situated. All right, now we've got the baffle and the speaker all situated here inside the cabinet. We're just going to get our mounting screws back in there. We've got our 4 baffle screws back in. We're going to go ahead and plug in our speaker cable back again. Like I said, if it was a 2-speaker cabinet, we would be more concerned with like polarity. But since it's a single speaker cabinet, we don't have to worry about that. All right, so that's back in. Tighten all that up. And then we will put our back panels back in. I will tell you one thing that I do wish Fender would do with these reissues that's not technically correct. Or, I guess, period correct. So I wish they would make this power cable detachable, like an IEC cable. But, you know what? Of all the things, not a big deal. Alright guys, it's all back to order. Should be set to go now. And just making sure all that speaker cable's connected. Now we can flip this guy up and ought to be in good shape. So let's get back to it. Let's get that looper going and see what it sounds like. See if we can tell a difference. Alright guys, so here we are with the Jensen that originally came in it. I've got it mic'd up. We're not doing crazy like audio work whatsoever here. I've just got SM57, just a little bit off the grill cloth here. I marked it with some gaff tape. That way I know exactly where I need to place it for the next time. I'm gonna have the controls all set the same. For the plane, I will turn it up halfway through, 2 notches, and I'll make sure to notate that for you guys, just so you can hear the amp overdriving and see what the push sounds like. I've got a Boss looper down on the floor. It's the only thing I've got plugged in the signal chain. I'm gonna loop the first ones, and then the second time you hear these little clips, it's gonna be the looped version you're actually hearing. But yeah, I think that's about it. Like I said, I'm not going for crazy great audio on this necessarily. I'm just looking for the differences that I'm hearing, and I'll kind of give you a recap whenever I'm all said and done with this. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with a Telly, and then I'll move to a Les Paul, and we'll kind of go from there. So, all right, let's get started on this stuff. Okay guys, I just got done with the edit for this video and listening to all the sound clips. I've also done a gig with this amp now with the new speaker in it too. So here's what I got back out of it. So I don't know how much it's going to show in the YouTube once I get it uploaded to there and the compressor takes over and they do all the things that YouTube does. However, what I noticed from my clips and from my experience is that the warehouse guitar speaker, the ET-65, the bottom end characteristic seems a lot tighter in a lot of ways, where it holds together a little bit more, and it seems like it's almost the main frequency for the low end's a little bit different spot. It's a little bit higher. Also, obviously, there's increased mids with the warehouse guitar speaker, and then that high-end kind of fizz that I was fighting, that was one of the biggest reasons why I was looking at doing something different than that Jensen, is kind of gone. It's a lot more even. It feels a lot more even. Whenever I took it to the gig, I noticed that the bass was way out of control at first. I really had to change up my settings on that, had to change some of my pedal settings because the bottom end, it's almost like it was building more bottom end. And maybe it was the venue I was playing. It was a new venue for me too. So maybe it was the venue, but I did notice that the bottom end just seemed to build up a lot more, and I had to adjust my settings. Once I adjusted my settings, I was very happy with it. I really liked it. I think some of that top end fizziness kind of that I was fighting went away with this speaker change, and it feels a lot more of, I don't want to say neutral, but it's a lot more of a neutral palette in some ways. When it does break up, it sounds great. I've been really happy with it. I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think after you listen to these clips. See if you guys hear the same things I do, or if YouTube kind of flattens some of it out. But as of now, I'm very happy with this speaker change, and I'll do some updates as we kind of go through this.
And who knows, maybe I'll end up with a different speaker. I had considered one of the Alessandro speakers to go in this. Everybody says that's very popular, but it seemed like this speaker here is the one that overall people have just been continually going to for these deluxes lately. So I wanted to give it a shot. Like I said, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Put it down below and let me know what you guys think or what speakers you guys have used. So as the saga continues. All right, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.